Phoenix pressed his nose against the kitchen window, watching Mrs. Chen water her garden next door. The sweet smell of cinnamon rolls drifted from her house, making his stomach rumble. Across the street, Mr. Rodriguez hammered away at something in his garage while his daughter Maria practiced soccer in the yard. "Mom, can we make something special for dinner?" he asked, turning away from the window. His mother looked up from her laptop. "I wish we could, sweetheart, but I have this big presentation tomorrow. Maybe we can order pizza?" The boy's shoulders slumped. Pizza again. He loved pizza, but lately that's all they seemed to eat. His mom worked so hard, and cooking took time they didn't have. An idea sparked in his mind like a match striking. What if cooking didn't have to take so much time? What if it could be fun? "I'll be right back." He raced out the front door before his mother could respond. Mrs. Chen looked up from her tomato plants as the boy bounded over her fence. "Careful there, little grasshopper." "Mrs. Chen, I have the best idea ever. What if we all cook together, like the whole neighborhood?" She set down her watering can, intrigued. "Tell me more." "Well, you make the best cinnamon rolls, and Mr. Rodriguez grills amazing chicken, and the Patel family makes that curry that smells like heaven. What if we all shared? We could cook together, and everyone would eat better." Mrs. Chen's eyes crinkled with delight. "You know what? That's brilliant. Let's talk to the others." Together they made their way across the street. Mr. Rodriguez wiped his hands on a rag as they approached. "Roberto, our young friend here has a wonderful idea," Mrs. Chen began. Phoenix bounced on his toes with excitement. "A neighborhood cooking club. We all make food together and share. Nobody has to cook alone or eat boring stuff anymore." Maria stopped juggling her soccer ball. "That sounds awesome. Can I help too?" "Everyone can help," the boy said. "That's the whole point." Mr. Rodriguez stroked his chin thoughtfully. "You know, I've been meaning to teach Maria some family recipes. This could be perfect." Word spread quickly through the neighborhood. The Patel family loved the idea right away. Mrs. Patel clapped her hands together. "Oh, I can teach everyone to make proper naan bread." Even grumpy Mr. Thompson from the corner house seemed interested when he heard about it. "Haven't had a decent home-cooked meal since Martha passed," he admitted quietly. Within a week, they had their first cooking day planned. The group decided to use the community center's large kitchen, which had been gathering dust for months. On Saturday morning, Phoenix arrived early with his mother, carrying a box of supplies. The kitchen buzzed with energy as neighbors filed in, arms full of ingredients and cooking tools. "All right, everyone," Mrs. Chen called out, tying on her apron. "Today we're making a feast. Each family will prepare one dish, and we'll all help each other." The boy darted between stations, eager to learn everything. At Mr. Rodriguez's station, he watched the man season chicken with a special spice blend. "The secret is to let it rest," Mr. Rodriguez explained, showing him how to pat the spices into the meat. "Patience makes it tender." Maria measured rice nearby. "I always mess this up at home," she confessed. "2 cups of water for every cup of rice," her father reminded her. "We'll do it together." At another counter, Mrs. Patel kneaded dough with practiced hands. Her husband sorted lentils while their twin boys, Ravi and Dev, washed vegetables. "Can you show me that?" The young chef pointed at the dough. "Of course. Come feel how soft it should be." Mrs. Patel guided her small hands into the warm dough. "Not too dry, not too sticky. Just right." The kitchen filled with wonderful smells, garlic sizzling, bread rising, spices blooming in hot oil. But more than that, it filled with laughter and conversation. "Oops!" Ravi accidentally knocked over a bowl of flour, sending white powder everywhere. Instead of getting upset, everyone laughed. Mr. Thompson grabbed a broom. "Happens to the best of us, son. I once covered my entire kitchen in tomato sauce." As they cleaned up together, the old man shared the story, making everyone giggle. The boy noticed how Mr. Thompson's eyes lit up when he talked, so different from his usual lonely expression. "Phoenix, come quick," his mother called from across the room. Mrs. Chen is showing me her dumpling technique. He rushed over to find his mother actually enjoying herself, flour dusting her nose as she tried to fold the delicate wrappers. Mrs. Chen guided her hands patiently. See? Pinch and twist, like a little purse, Mrs. Chen demonstrated. His mother's dumpling looked lopsided, but she beamed with pride. I did it. The afternoon flew by in a whirl of chopping, stirring, and tasting. When things got hectic, everyone pitched in without being asked. Mr. Rodriguez helped Deb reach the tall counter. Maria and her new friend worked together to set the long tables. Even shy Mrs. Kim from 2 blocks over was chatting animatedly with the Patels about Korean spices. Finally, the feast was ready. The tables groaned under the weight of all the dishes. Golden dumplings, fragrant curry, perfectly grilled chicken, fresh naan, colorful stir-fry, and so much more. Before we eat, Mrs. Chen said, raising her glass of lemonade, I want to thank our young organizer for bringing us all together. Everyone turned to smile at the boy, who blushed but stood a little taller. This was just the beginning, he announced. We could do this every week, and maybe we could write down all our recipes in a neighborhood cookbook. I love that idea, Mr. Thompson said. I have my Martha's apple pie recipe. Haven't made it in years, but maybe it's time. As they ate, neighbors who had lived side by side for years finally really talked. Mrs. Kim taught the twins to say delicious in Korean. Mr. Rodriguez and Mr. Patel discovered they both loved cricket. His mother and Mrs. Chen planned a dumpling-making session for the following week. Phoenix took a bite of everything, savoring not just the flavors, but the joy around him. This was so much better than pizza alone in front of the TV. You know what the best part is? Maria said, sitting beside him with her full plate. What? We all made this together. It tastes better when you share the work. He nodded, understanding completely. No one person had to do everything. When they worked as a team, cooking became an adventure instead of a chore. As the sun set, families began packing up leftovers, but instead of everyone taking only their own food home, they divided everything equally. Each family would have variety for the week ahead. Same time next Saturday? Mrs. Patel asked hopefully. Absolutely, everyone agreed. Mr. Thompson lingered as others left. Young man, he said quietly, thank you. This is the first time in 2 years I haven't eaten dinner alone. The boy impulsively hugged the old man. You won't eat alone anymore. We're all neighbors now, real neighbors. Walking home with his mother, containers of delicious food balanced between them, she squeezed his shoulder. I'm proud of you. This was a wonderful idea. It wasn't just my idea anymore, he said thoughtfully. It became everyone's idea. That's what made it work. His mother smiled. You're absolutely right. The best things happen when people come together. Over the following weeks, the cooking club grew. More neighbors joined, bringing recipes from their childhoods and cultures from around the world. The dusty community center kitchen became the heart of the neighborhood, filled with steam and stories, spices and smiles. They faced challenges, of course. Once, the oven broke right in the middle of baking Mrs. Thompson's apple pies. But instead of giving up, they problem-solved together. Mr. Rodriguez brought over his portable grill, and they invented grilled apple pie, which turned out deliciously smoky and sweet. Another time, they realized they'd forgotten to buy eggs for the cake batter. The boy remembered seeing chickens in Mrs. Kim's backyard and asked if she had fresh eggs. She was happy to contribute, and from then on supplied the group with eggs from her happy hens. Phoenix learned to make spring rolls from Mrs. Kim, tamales from the new family that moved in down the street, and perfect pie crust from Mr. Thompson. But more importantly, he learned that every person had something special to contribute. Even the quietest neighbors found their place. Elderly Mrs. Watson, who rarely left her house, began knitting beautiful pot holders for everyone. Young Sam from across the park, who was too shy to cook, became their official taste tester and photographer, documenting their feasts. The neighborhood cookbook became a real project. Each family contributed their favorite recipes, but they also included stories. How Mr. Rodriguez learned to grill from his grandfather in Mexico, why Mrs. Chen's dumplings were shaped like gold ingots for prosperity, the history behind the Patel family's spice blend passed down for generations. As autumn arrived, the cooking club decided to host a harvest festival for the whole community. The boy helped organize teams, some for cooking, some for decorating, others for games and music. Remember, he said at their planning meeting, everybody does a little bit, so nobody does too much. The festival was magical. Lanterns made by the children twinkled in the trees. Long tables displayed dishes from around the world. Maria and her father performed traditional dances. The Patel twins played drums. Mrs. Kim's grandchildren sang Korean folk songs. Watching his neighbors, now friends, celebrating together, the young organizer felt warm inside despite the cool evening air. His simple idea had grown into something beautiful, like a tiny seed becoming a fruit tree that fed everyone. His mother found him sitting on the steps, taking it all in. "Penny, for your thoughts?" "I was just thinking, remember when we used to eat pizza alone all the time?" She laughed. "That feels like a lifetime ago." "It's better this way," he said. "Not just the food. Everything." "You're right." She hugged him close. "You taught us all something important. We're stronger together than apart." Mrs. Chen approached with a plate of her famous cinnamon rolls, still warm from the oven. "For our founder," she said with a wink. As he bit into the sweet, gooey pastry, surrounded by the sounds of his community celebrating, Phoenix realized the most delicious ingredient of all was the one you couldn't buy at any store: togetherness. And that was a recipe worth sharing with the whole world.